Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with three S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, with my amazing co-host Phil, just basking in the Grecian sun, it seems. How are you?
Get me
Are
on
you
the
wearing
beach. Get
sunblock?
me on the beach. Oh, I better have sunblock on.
You're like 1,000.
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm kind of overwhelmed because there's going to be so much reality TV coming shortly.
So
Like
much.
in 2 weeks, there's going to be Big Brother Canada, and then Survivor 42 starting the week after, and then they just announced all these MTV or not MTV, but all these the challenge spin-offs.
Oh
There's going to be
gosh.
4 of them around the world, and then Survivor South Africa. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's going to get a little busy soon. So
Well,
buckle down.
reality realness is getting real.
Getting real. I'm thinking, like, I'm trying to think of, instead of going live for all of them, maybe figuring out a way to do like some videos, you know what I mean? Like some edited videos that might be a different way to tell some of these recap stories. But yeah, I'm just like, there's so much content coming and there's only one of me.
Yeah.
Just one of me. So
That's
but,
true. There's only one of you. But
so
we're lucky we have you.
oh, stop it. I'm lucky I have you to do all things Amazing Race with. Yay. We have traveled the world here. Hello. Thank you for being here. And Adrian, hello, hello. Gosh, this week of reality TV is having me go through it. Yeah, no, this week
Yes.
was a hard week. Honestly, Monday was the hardest day for me. I cried all day Monday for what I watched on Monday.
Oh.
It was a bad day. Bad day. And I also on Monday I watched Euphoria. And so Euphoria, the beginning of that episode also had me crying. It was just like I was just spent. So I'm with you, Adrian. Like I went through it this week. Is that? I mean, I guess that's what I want, right? I want to feel the emotions and go through.
Yeah, you gotta have those emotions. You get attached to people. I know I do. And and you get a little upset when people make stupid moves in certain shows too, and you're like, what the hell?
Yes, yeah. It's so disappointing because we're just like we're rooting so hard for people. Like we're rooting for you, and like you blew it. You blew it, and it's so disappointing. You're watching Euphoria as well. Travel the world. Yes, Euphoria takes you on a roller coaster. Are you watching that as well, Phil?
I am not, but I've been told to, so I will.
So it's obviously it's about teenagers, but I think that the core storylines are for all ages or reminiscent of maybe people that you knew when you're in high school, or you know what I mean. So there is a
might not
relatability.
Enjoy it.
Oh, really? You didn't like high school, or you hated high school? Or?
No, I'm one of those. It got a lot better after high school.
Really? Well, I'm not saying that like that way though, but like being able to see some of these stories. So some of these characters, like it's interesting to see a viewpoint that you might not have seen of these kind of people in high school.
Yeah.
So it's not like a happy-go-lucky, enjoyable thing. It's pretty dark. It's dark. It's dark.
Okay, that will be
but
good. I like
as
that.
an actor, I like it because it takes you through it. So that's one of the reasons why I love reality TV, because it usually takes me through it. But this week was a bit too much. A lot too much.
Yes.
A lot too much. Okay, so Adrian says if it was Drag Race UK versus the world that hit me hard this week, what happened this week? Did it bother me too?
No. The unbelievable. So Jujubee, I love Jujubee, but Jujubee has not been performing very well. Like Jujubee's been kind of boring. Like and Jimbo was a highlight. Jimbo was the Canadian one who was on, and definitely was a highlight this season. And yeah, I don't know. We lost Jimbo, and
Jimbo's gone. Okay, so I haven't seen this week then.
Oh, you haven't seen? Oh, jeez.
Well, okay, because I'm like, what? I'm like, he just won 2 in a row. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
It
Okay, so
started
that's
off at the beginning of the episode. They were getting upset with him because he was playing the game, and then I kind of feel like there was some game playing being played at the end. So, yeah, kind of
what was the
upsetting.
challenge?
They had a musical that they had to do. It wasn't good. The musical, honestly, like there wasn't really a lot of standouts for that. It was a pretty bad musical. So.
Oh, damn it! I mean, I thought I'd watched it this week, but I guess not.
Well, I just ruined it for you.
Thank you.
Monday really did suck.
Okay, I mean, I would wait. Does it come on Monday, and I'm just a week behind? Because I usually watch it. I usually watch it Thursdays.
The one again, the UK versus the world is Tuesday usually.
Oh,
but Monday.
I'm
I think
2
it's
episodes
Monday
behind
in the UK. Yeah, you might be 2 episodes behind.
The last thing I saw was Jimbo winning, and sending, and he didn't win the lip sync, but he had Jujubee's lipstick, I think, right?
Okay. Yeah, so that was last week's episode. So then this week happened on Tuesday. It's showing.
Oh, so this is Tuesday. So it's 2 days ago. You're spoiling me. Oh, get out of here! I watch it on Thursdays. Okay, yeah, I thought it was from last week, and I was like, "What?" I thought I watched it last week. I watched last week's.
So it's happened. It's happened. It's out there.
No, I know, but like, I don't know when it comes out, so I thought it came out on Thursdays.
I know. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. I think.
Okay. So what from my need to mentally prepare to watch Euphoria? Yes, you do. It's very traumatic, and some episodes are very hard to watch. Zendaya is amazing. Oh my god, she's talented. Wow. She's definitely she's not my favorite character, but she is definitely doing an excellent job portraying Rue. Hi, Agent Secret. Thanks for joining us. So, confession, I didn't watch this episode this season. Tasks don't intrigue me a whole lot, but I support Lulu and Lala. Yes, I'm aware. Yes. Okay, good.
Yes, and I agree. The challenges this season have been...
Yes.
They have not been amazing race challenges.
So did they show us going to Greece this at all, or they just start in Greece? Because we were saying that we liked them getting on the plane and that whole like seeing them interact on the plane, going who knows where they're going, and it seemed like they just popped them up in Greece, and they're like, and they're going to be starting in 3 groups.
Yeah, they did the voiceover of they are going to be flying there, but there wasn't a lot of the airport stuff. It was straight into the 2 teams opening their clue.
See, I wish that they would show us the plane ride a little bit, or like, I don't know. I like seeing them enter the plane. So
what snacks are they eating on the plane?
Kinda.
I want to know this stuff. What movie did they want?
Who's groping together? Who's kind of chit chatting? Like, I don't know. I want to see some of this stuff. So when they get to Greece, though, they're going to be self-driving with a manual transmission car. But it seems like the car has the steering wheel on the familiar side to Americans.
So that's good.
Easier.
Yeah. Well, so I'm not sure. In Greece, I think they do. Don't they drive on the
oh, do you know what? I'm actually not sure. Side? I have not been to Greece.
But yeah, so that was nice to see. As soon as they said the word manual transmission, I was like, oh no, this is going to be the end of Aaron and Natalia for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought was happening for sure. Yeah.
Anytime I see self-driving, I was like, oh god, okay, well, good luck. You know who's going to be clawing their way from the back. So group 1 was Kim and Penn and the flight attendants, so Kayla and Raquel. So they're going to be leaving first, and they're going to be going to some olive tree place, I guess an olive factory of some sort, and they're going to have to be looking for a clue in a tree. How'd you feel about this task? Oh wait, we were getting into the episode, but we didn't even talk about last week. We're totally just forgetting about it all. What happened in our survey? I'm sorry.
Oh, the survey. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the survey from last week, because we get everybody to fill out the survey. So I know last week we did have some people say that they went to Corsica, but this time nobody did. Leg 7. The hardest task they said was eating the bread and the maggots were people's hardest task. They thought was the one. Um, do you think Aaron and Natalia would deserve to win the whole season based on their performance? The majority of people said no. Do you think that there should be a U-turn this upcoming leg? The majority of people said no. Will Raquel and Kayla get a first place finish? The majority of people said yes. Will Aaron and Natalia survive the next elimination? The majority of people said yes, but I will say there were a couple people that took the survey today. That's cheating. And then, which Amazing Race 33 team do you feel your opinion has changed the most from the beginning of the race into a more positive way now? The majority of people were Lulu and Lala at that point. And that was last week's survey.
All right. Thank you, Phil. Sorry that I forgot about that. I just was getting into this episode. So yeah, did you think it was challenging finding the clue in the tree? Where it seemed like the ladder was the marker as to where the clues were? I mean, I'm assuming that people move the ladder to help them get the clue, unless you're Penn, who I believe is quite tall. I think he's 6'4".
Yeah, he was able to jump up and get it. Yeah, I mean, they always have this like needle in the haystack one, or trying to find things.
A lot easier than a needle in a haystack one.
This was a lot easier, and I feel like they could have, based on how simplified the rest of this race is, the fact that they were just running out into the field to do this, I think that they could have found a way to make it a bit tougher. Maybe they had to use something to pull it out of the tree, or something a little bit more different. Yeah, they didn't seem to have much trouble finding it. I did like the girls having to do the climb on each other's shoulders. Ladder,
and funny enough, I would have thought that Raquel would have put Kayla on her shoulders, but they did it the other way around. And I was like, oh, I would have assumed that they would have done it the other way for whatever reason.
Me too.
Which is really funny. So group 2 leaves, and that's going to be the twins and then Dusty and Ryan. And I was really surprised when they were like, want to work together this leg. And we know Lulu and Lala love working with other people, but then like when they are more competitive than they are, they kind of get irritated by it. So I was surprised that they did do that, but they're going to be working together a bit for this leg. And it seems like Lulu and Lala did help them. I think she said, oh, the clue, it's by the ladder or something. I think she said something to inform Dusty and or Ryan where the clue was in the trees.
Yeah, I get why they would do this. I mean, last week they were 3 teams all in the back together. This time it's 2, and there's 1 team behind them. So it does make a little bit more sense to work together in this sense, because you're not in that last place fighting it out.
True. Just you kind of want to move together as quickly as together as far as possible, because like then you can move a lot further away from the person at the back of the pack. So I get that, but I just know that Lulu and Lala seem to get burned by these like pairings, by these people that are more competitive, these teams that are more competitive than they are.
Oh yeah.
So did you notice though, like the camera person's getting out of the shot because like, you know, you had one team finding their clue and then they could see the camera person of the other team like trying to get out of their shot, which I thought was you gotta see behind the fourth wall, like behind the scenes. Like I like that.
I like that. I do actually wish that we got to see the cameras sometimes a bit more. So
yeah, it would be nice maybe if the camera person was a character on the show a little bit, like if they got a few confessionals, because I would love to hear what they go through, because you know if they get into attacks and stuff like that, they always have to make sure that the camera person can get in there, or they have GoPros on certain things because like the camera person can't do that, signing waivers, like all this stuff. I would love to see a little bit of behind the scene or from the camera person's perspective. I think that would be kind of awesome.
That would be a great special. I think that they should do that sometime. Just sort of the behind the scenes of how the race all comes together. Because, gosh, you can imagine. You can imagine they have some stories too about teams that were like, "No, we have to go now," and like yelling at the camera people. So,
and what if the camera person's out of shape and these people are like running super fast? Like, yeah, maybe they have to be very fit to be a camera person on The Amazing
I would
Race.
imagine they, yeah, yeah.
I wonder how many cameras have broken. Like, have camera people fallen and smashed cameras? Like, I would love to hear the chronicles of the cameraman for The Amazing Race. I
Oh
want to
yeah,
see if
because
this
you're
book.
focused on the team, and then there's all these other people around you, and yeah.
Like, that sucks. Like, I want to see that show. So Natalia and Arun are group number 3, and they're 30 minutes behind the Kim Penn and Raquel and Kayla. So yeah. So I'm wondering though, like, do you like it better that they're just 30 minutes behind, or would you rather be like, say, 10 minutes behind and get a speed bump? Like, what do you think about the impact of being 30 minutes behind?
Well, I would rather that they be 30 minutes behind and get a speed bump because,
True.
well, no. In honesty, when you watch the race, like these teams that leave regularly, they leave like 2-3 hours after the top team, and they still have to do a speed bump. Like, I feel like this season has really been made so easy because of the COVID, and it's like, this team should be fighting to be in this, and I don't know. 30 minutes seems like nothing.
30 minutes
Now
seems
it's
like
good
nothing.
at 5. At 5, it's good, but like throughout, it's been kind of like, I don't like it.
Well, I guess like they must have taken it away because of Rune and Natalia. I love them as human beings, but they're not very good at the race. So maybe they're just like, it would be so like they didn't show the other roadblock that they had, or the speed bump that they had, because there were still the 2 teams that were in the bottom. They weren't good enough teams to overcome the speed bump and still be a contender in the race. So maybe they're like, okay, let's not even bother giving them a speed bump, because then we'll know for sure that they're going to be out. Yeah. Especially if it's a self-driving leg, especially.
I hope that this is just for this season, or I hope this isn't something that's necessarily going to be going on forward, because I like the whole having the drama at the airports, and like the airport. I'm missing the airport. I do like the airport.
And I'm thinking that I don't care for the clumping together. I think I would rather everybody start at their own separate times.
Yeah.
I think so, because it's not really paying off in, I think, the way that we're hoping it to. I'm just kind of like, okay, so they're just going to work together and they're going to do well together, as opposed to like people really trying on their own and like making a mistake and falling behind. You know what I mean? So I want it to be separate again, I think. So Child of the World says Raquel trying to get on Kayla's shoulder was hysterical to reach the clue. Yes, I did laugh. I chuckled. I like them. To be honest, the navigation between the tasks seems so close together. They did. Considering that, spoiler alert, Lulu and Lala run to the pit stop at one point when they're looking for the roadblock or whatever, the route info. Hi, Dolores. No problem. We're all late to the party here. Thanks for joining us.
She's got a new picture.
I saw this yesterday.
Okay. That's why she's late.
Oh, a couple little bevies. Am I wrong, or have we not seen a U-turn yet? No U-turn yet this season. I don't think we're going to see one, unless it's next leg and then it's a non-elimination. That's the only thing I can imagine.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is whack. Yeah. So the roadblock is who likes to rap. So who would have done this one, do you think?
It did say WRAP, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I would. I very much told you that I do not have great hand-eye coordination when it comes to arts and crafts. This would be you.
This would be me. Okay. So they have to prepare 60 tomates. You've been to Greece, you've said, correct? Or am I making that up? No.
You are making that up.
Sorry. Have you had a tomates?
I have not. No. I may have. I remember eating something like that, but I thought it was more. Was that like a dessert?
Ooh, I don't think so. It was
I
rice.
Remember something with a dessert with that kind of with the leaf wrap.
I'm not sure if it was exactly this, because I don't remember the name of what I've had, but I've definitely had rice in grape leaves. So I'm assuming that I've had that, but I just don't remember the name being that. Like when I think of Greece, I think of like spanakopita, and I do think of souvlaki. I do think of, what else do I think of? Feta. I do think of obviously Greek salad and those grape leaf things, but spanakopita and like is that the flambe? No, what's the flambe cheese called with the ouzo?
Ooh.
It's really good. It's like this like hard cheese that you put all this like ouzo on top of it and you set it on fire and you eat it, and it's very good. Tell me, people, tell me. You guys will know, I know. Oh, Phil, you noticed? Oh, it's like you noticed her haircut. So cute. And I'm noticing your haircut, Phil. It does look quite spiffy.
Thank you.
Handsome.
Thank you.
Yes, Travel the World. Those grape leaves look tasty. I would have eaten one. Yeah, I would have eaten one too. I'm sure people ate them. Hi, Minnesota girl. So in recent seasons, there have been a lot of equalizers have to wait for places to open, air travel, 2 flights, etc. So starting in groups doesn't bother me. Yeah. True, but it's just been, the season's already lacking dynamics. So like, it's just underwhelming to know that they're going to work together on a task and both get finished, right? There's no drama there.
Unfortunately, I think this might have worked better if they did have the U-turns in it in some sense, because that might have created the drama between the teams. So then if you got stuck going at the same time as the team that U-turned you wouldn't work together and you'd be like having spats and stuff like that. So we don't have the drama this season, and that's missing. That's like, there's no
drama. Yes, Adrienne, feta, and yes, Cheryl, thank you, saganaki. It's so good. It's very good. If you have not tried it, I highly recommend saganaki. I've had grape leaves. That's what we call it. My friend's ex-boyfriend is Greek, and he used to make it all the time. That souvlaki looks good. Yes, souvlaki's delish. Feta cheese, yum. I mean, I don't love cheese in general, but I can have a little sprinkle of feta. And I like saganaki, obviously, because like it has like an interesting consistency, and then like the ouzo, and then the flames. I love flaming things. So wait, what did I write here? Okay, yeah, Arena and Natalia, they found the clue. What are you laughing at?
Sorry, you said I like flaming things, and then you looked down, and I was like, yeah.
I was waiting for a comment. Like, I didn't hear that. Yes, I love flaming things. Flaming. So Kim decides to go and do a check when she's about halfway with rolling these leaves. Now, I'm surprised that Kim, who seems to be very meticulous at things, didn't notice everything about how she was rolling these leaves before she started. But when she went over, she did realize that some of the veins of hers were on the inside, some on the outside. So she had to check to see what the demonstrator was doing. Were you surprised by that fumble?
More so, I was impressed by her that I feel like she probably got some sort of vibe she was doing something wrong. And instead of doing them all halfway through, she went back and checked. And that doesn't happen very often on the race, where people are like not completely full and they go, wait a minute, I've got to go check again because I feel like I'm doing something wrong. So I was impressed by that. Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't get it on the first time, but that was very impressive that she thought that. I don't know if I would have done that necessarily. I think I might have been like, oh, I might just go ahead and try and get them all done. So that's quite impressive. True. I'm giving a compliment.
Oh, you're your favorite team. So Adrienne, okay, I legit thought Souvlaki was a gyro, a hero gyro. I'm thinking that Souvlaki is how you cook the chicken, and a gyro is like that wrap in the pita. I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on that.
So I know gyro is when you go to, because from or at least from what I know, when you go to gyro is part of the meat that's like the scraping when they
Oh,
do
it is. So it's
the
so
stuff,
I'm the
and then they
opposite.
put it into like a pita, which is usually the gyro. But the souvlaki, I think, is in it. It might still be a pita, but then it's also got like the chicken and it's like different meats and stuff. The
So
gyro
gyro
is
might be is this the beef skewer, like the
yeah,
shaved beef,
yeah,
and souvlaki
something
maybe is
something like
chicken.
that. Yeah,
I
it's
definitely know it's like chicken
yeah,
souvlaki goes together, so
yeah,
maybe it's you
yeah.
can't be like beef
Gyro,
souvlaki, like it's only chicken. Maybe
yeah, I feel like
maybe
gyro is
gyro
something.
is a beef souvlaki.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Maybe
trying to remember what it is.
anybody
Yeah.
Greek on this podcast?
For some reason, I'm not sure. I feel like it's a different animal. So, but,
Oh, lamb. Maybe it's lamb. I don't know. So Travel the World, moussaka with bechamel is a Greek dish. Had it years ago. That was tasty. So moussaka is kind of like a potato, like lasagna. It's like layered stuff with like meat, potatoes, bechamel.
mm,
I don't eat meats anymore, so I haven't had that obviously in a gazillion years. But I think I've had it once, like
yeah,
many moons ago. But it was good. But
yeah.
it was good. What's this? I don't know what this is though. Pasticcio. No clue. Lamb. Okay. So
Okay.
gyro's lamb. Perfect.
Oh,
Souvlaki
meat
is a
on a
meat on a
skewer, on the skewer,
skewer.
and then yeah, yeah. Okay, that makes
I
sense.
love learning things. I mean, I could have
Look at
easily
this,
just looked it
our
up,
group.
but I am very appreciative of you guys informing me of what these meat dishes are because I don't eat meat anymore. And the last time I've had souvlaki was over a decade ago. So, thank you for helping us out here. So by this time though, when Kim is still rapping, like everybody's starting to catch up to them. So is it Kayla that was doing it? Yes. No, Raquel was doing the grape leaves,
Raquel was doing the leaves. Yeah.
and then Dusty was also doing the leaves, right? Yes, he was. So they're
Yes.
kind of caught up. And Arud is also going to be caught up here as well. So I was pretty impressed. They were pretty happy for the fact that even the team that was in first place was still doing the grape leaf wrapping. And so they were feeling confident as soon as they were able to catch up with the group. Were you
Yeah, they
impressed by
drove
them not
well.
getting lost?
Yeah, I mean, there we go. Good job, Aaron and Natalia. You didn't get lost. That's good.
So Raquel also does a check, and or she does it. She does the first check actually, and Raquel realized that half of hers were bad, so she goes back. Kim goes up for her real first check, and she realized that she has them arranged on the tray incorrectly, which I'm also surprised that Kim made that mistake. I'm like, wow, are they going to lose their lead for like these
Right.
teeny little minute mistakes? I was very surprised by Kim here. Um, and then Dusty seemed to get it on their first try. But, did Kim go back first? Did I not write that down? Kim must have gone back first.
Kim got it. You've gone back. Yeah, yeah. She had gone
Before
back and got it.
Dusty
Kim
got
was
it.
out of They were out of there before. Like I think they were out of there quite a bit before. It felt like it. It felt like they had some time behind them.
So I didn't write down that she had left, but I did write down that they're going to Mamo's Cantina stand, where they're going to have to order souvlaki, spell it, eat the souvlaki, and find their next clue. So, what do you think about this as a task?
After they did another food task, they go to do another food task, and I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know, and like it wasn't even like a gross like I don't know. I don't know. It was like eat a souvlaki. I'm like I could go to the mall to do that. Like I don't know. It's not that exciting to watch.
True. It was not exciting to watch. Did you like that the clue was on the parchment paper?
I did, and I was shocked by the number of teams that did not pick up on that. That was shocking to me when, especially after when she said no, that they didn't seem to go. Okay, well, what do we got? like something's not right here. So I
And
was
then they're
shocked
just
that
like
they.
crumpling it up and throwing in the garbage. I'm just like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, these
I was
people.
more surprised though that people didn't know what a Souvlaki like
How to
they
spell
had.
it.
It seemed like they had never heard it before, the word before, and I was like, that's weird. Like I don't know. Like
I think it's
I've
very
heard of Souvlaki.
strange.
Yeah,
I mean, I
that's one that you should know. I
I
think
think
for food.
so. It doesn't seem. It doesn't. I don't think of it as something. If there's like a Souvlaki Joe's in the food court at the mall, like
Right.
like it's just maybe not Joe, but like there's definitely always a Souvlaki place in the mall in Canada,
Yeah.
anyways. Maybe not in the States. Maybe not in the
Yeah.
States.
But it was a very easy task.
Definitely. Dusty, though, does seem to get the grape rolling task correct on his first try. Raquel goes back up. She's wrong again. Lala checks hers. She is correct. She's out of there. Arun checks his, and he overtakes Raquel because he gets his as well, which I was like, oh my God, are we going to lose the flight attendants this leg because of grape leaves, vines facing the wrong direction? Like, oh my goodness. Were you nervous?
I was a little surprised that the girls were in the back, but I was nervous for them. But I did say, at least we know that they have to drive themselves. There is a chance.
I thought that's the exact same thing. I was like, well, they have to drive there, so I don't know if this is indicative of like bad news for the FAs. So Raquel messed up like this whole task for not focusing on the details. So she did eventually realize that it was the veins and like they had to be in a certain way. So she finally gets it and she's apologizing to Kayla. And Kayla was like, don't worry about it. It was great. Don't worry. Like, I love that she didn't make her feel bad for getting them in the back. Like, that was a really great teamwork moment.
Yeah. They stayed focused. Let's go on to the next thing. Always a good way to go about it.
Mm-hmm. So back at the Mamo's Cantina stand, Kim and Penn, they eat the souvlaki. They're, doing like, oh, it's so good. They didn't notice it. They threw away the wrapper. But then Penn has the moment where he's like, oh, the wrapper. He does go into the garbage. He pulls it out and he sees that the clue is on the wrapper to go to a church. So I was happy that they figured it out seemingly pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I was happy about it.
Yeah.
So Dusty and Ryan arrive next, and Dusty spells it. He didn't seem to have any trouble spelling it at all. They didn't seem to know where the wrapper was, but like Ryan had it in his hand. He's like, oh, like it was just like they stumbled onto it. Like it was very happenstance.
Yeah, I was shocked they didn't eat it the way.
Yeah. They did not eat it at all. So they're on their way to the church now as well. So at the roadblock, what they're going to have to do is who wants to be iconic. So they're going to have to listen to a priest talk about different priests, saints, etc. And then they're going to have to put 5 of these iconic people in order. But they didn't let them know that it was like 15 minutes that they had to listen to, and then they had like one shot at the putting them in the correct order. So Penn is listening, and he does mention again about his ADHD, and sometimes he had hyperfocus. So I thought that raising a little bit of awareness around ADHD was interesting because I haven't personally experienced it. I don't think I have it, or I haven't been negatively affected by it if I do. And I don't know really anybody in my close proximity that has it. So it was really interesting to hear how his brain works and how he's able to have hyperfocus to do very well on a task like this.
Yeah. And especially what I was impressed with was I don't know if this is an area that he's interested in, but he found a way to be focused on an area, like something that might have been out of his element, but still be able to focus on it, which with intent, which is cool. That's really cool.
Absolutely. So Raquel and Kayla actually end up passing the twins and Arun and Natalia on the way to the cantina. So like they're in third place, so they're not that far behind. They obviously don't know where they are in the order at this point. They're just running it like normal. So they finished. Wait, what happened here? So Natalia can't spell Souvlaki, and she goes and asks people. Well, it's just too much. Like,
yes,
I would think
and they stop traffic.
How do you spell Souvlaki?
If that happened in Toronto, do you think anyone would stop?
How do you spell poutine?
Windows up, down. I'm Florida.
How do you spell maple syrup? It's like, what? So I was impressed though. Raquel and Kayla, they didn't seem to have trouble with that task, did they? Did they look around for did they know that it was on the paper? I didn't write it down. I was probably just too engrossed in the drama.
No, I don't think that they did right away either. I think they
everybody
asked,
kind of was like,
they did. Yeah, they weren't the worst. But they found it pretty fast after they figured it out. Yeah.
So how do you think you would? I guess it would have been you that would be doing the iconic one, since I did the grape leaves. How do you think you would have done?
I think it would have been okay because I'm pretty good at associating pictures with words. But yeah, definitely, you have to sit there, you have to listen to the whole thing. That was a long talk for maybe things that aren't necessarily in people's worlds. I'm not. Some of those stories that they were talking about, I have heard before, even though I'm really not religious. But some of them I had not heard at all. So it would have been a test, but at the end, I think with the pictures, I think that you were able to associate things with the pictures in your own way with the story. So I think it would have done okay.
Okay, phew. I think it would have done okay, but I'm wondering because I would have remembered all the information. I don't know if I would have remembered all the pictures. You know what I mean? I would have been like, oh. Maybe that's not true. I'm not sure how I would have done, but I definitely would have known all the information, and I might have been able to process of elimination, be like, okay, that's that one. I know that was that one, and then figure it out that way. So I think you would have probably been better than I would have been at that one. Absolutely.
I do love that they always open that second roadblock and they make it seem like, and maybe they do, but they make it seem like it's still a choice for the two teams. They all picked, I think everybody on all the other teams, I'm not sure about Lulu and Lala for sure, but I think that they all picked the other person to do the second roadblock.
I think it must have said they just didn't.
Yeah.
Or it's a rule that they know, that's part of the racer rules. Hey, if one person does one roadblock, the other person must do this roadblock. So I think it's in the clue, but they just didn't air it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I do though also think that maybe they did pick the right people from their teams to do it. So maybe Aaron. Maybe I could have saw doing that more than Natalia. Maybe, but
the iconic or instead of Natalia. I see.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Penn does finish this. It seems like it's on its first try, and they're on their way to the pit stop. So they have left everybody pretty much in their dust, it seems. They're quite ahead of everybody. I don't know how to say this, but they're going to Nia Kalikutaria, which is the pit stop. I speak many languages, but Greek is not one of them. Sorry. Lulu and Lala, while they're trying to get to the cantina, stumble onto the pit stop, as I mentioned earlier on this podcast, which I'm like, what? How? It seems like it was very straightforward for everybody else. How did you end up at the pit stop instead of the cantina?
I love that they when this happens, and this has happened a couple times on the race, that they still go all the way up to the pit stop to talk to Phil. It's like, why are you going?
Does Phil get word hey, some people are gonna stumble on the pit stop? Can you just go there? And he's in his trailer, and he's like, oh god, they're not checking in.
He's got the makeup towel around his neck. He's like, I'm not ready.
So So Ryan apparently is a genius at history. Is a genius, sorry, and a history nut. And so he listens only to 5 of the icons, and he goes then and he tries to solve it. And so I wonder what the clue said, because I would have understood it that there would be more than 5 and that they had to put 5 in order. That's how I understood it, but it could be because I have all the information.
Wasn't it funny watching him listen to the story, and he was just like not even really paying attention. He's like like it was like, are we done? Can I go? Like, ooh, you're gonna learn a lesson here. And I like that the guy told him off. He's like, no, don't. Who did he tell off? He told somebody, no talk asking me questions.
Don't ask some questions.
Oh, that was Depend. He's like, no, you can't ask. Don't ask me questions. I was like, this guy's great.
So while Ryan's over there listening, Kayla seems to jump in about 1 minute into the presentation, and he leaves after 5 with her. Did she go try one as well? Hold on. See what I wrote down.
No, she was walking away, and he said,
and then he continued on, and then Ryan came back
next,
right? Because Ryan went and tried one, and then on his second try, he was leaving after. Right, you're right. After the first 5, and then he heard that there was more. So,
and then I think the priest it was very quiet, but I think the priest said, "Thank you for staying," or something, or "Thank you for staying with us," or something to him. I was like,
I didn't hear
"Go
that.
priest! I like this guy.
I
He's
didn't
having
notice
fun."
that. Hilarious. So, Arun and Natalia get to the cantina finally, and definitely can't spell souvlaki. It's like SHOUV. Like, I was like, whoo. Like, I mean, I understand that maybe that's not the food fare of the restaurant that your father works in or owns or whatnot, but like, it seems like a food fare that should be rather common, but I'm just speaking from my experience. So Lulu and Lala.
Maybe if we have anyone that's listening from the States, like, do they in the food courts at the mall? Is there, because like in Canada, there's always one of them is Greek.
Always.
Like food usually. I mean, at least it was like back in the day. It was like 80s, 90s, 2000s. There was always like a Greek fast food thing. So
yep, I can picture. Even at the airport, there's a Greek place usually. Well, at least in Toronto. Hold on, let's see. Just go back a little bit. So, okay, maybe it was just me, but that seemed like an obvious clue considering it was in big letters on the wrapper. Absolutely, it was very obvious. I know we're watching, so we're like the armchair quarterbacks, whatever, but it seemed easy. Yeah, they were not told, but to leave in the middle of the speech, but it just seemed off to me. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I would have just stayed until he was done. You know, I don't know, Ryan. He's just too antsy, I guess. Hi, Jess. So, I mean, the priest kept saying, and the next one, they should have known to keep listening. I know. They're like, and the next one. And she's just
I'm out of here.
Okay, and the edit where Dusty keeps on saying to the camera, Ryan is a history nut, and he's my guy.
Oh, yeah, you knew.
Crusher Ryan.
You knew it was not going to go well when he was like, oh, yeah. And then like kept like going back to him. He's like, yeah, he's so great at this.
Like, he's so bored. So bored. Hilarious. Yeah, that was so funny. Agreed. So Dusty is interesting. He's an interesting character because I'm trying to figure out like who's the real him, because he's so like on, and I'm just like, whoo.
He goes from like we don't see him, and he's so quiet, and then it goes to him, and it's like this character that doesn't match the rest of the time in any way. Like, it's like, who is this guy?
Who? Yeah, Dusty. It's enigma. Dolores says these boys have been brought down a notch or two. I could see these boys being knocked out in the next round because they make some mistakes, like, and their strength have not been utilized in the last few legs. I mean, obviously, to when they had to run and do like all the cliff jumping and all that stuff, he was able to overtake some people and get out from the back of the pack. But we've just seen a lot of their weaknesses come out in the most recent legs. And if it's going to be indicative of what they're going to be doing moving forward, I don't know if they're going to get better, you know?
Yeah.
With the new style of race, anyways.
Not with this new stuff.
And when Desi had the Hulk moment after completing the task and shows the side-by-side cut to the women mocking them. With Kayla and Raquel mocking him?
Yeah. And somebody else was there. Wasn't Natalia there still? And they were like, yeah, they were laughing.
Yes, Jess. I do believe that it is a new rule because in the beginning years it could be uneven, and so one person would do like all of them. It is that they have to be even, but we were kind of saying within a certain leg, is it stated that it has to be the other person that executes the other one? Because like, what if they're ahead? Like, it doesn't have to go back and forth. It like, you know, as long as in the end they're even. So I guess that's what we're kind of saying. Was it mandatory?
And I don't know because sometimes they do read that in the clue and they go, oh, if you didn't do the first roadblock, you have to do the second roadblock. But then and other times they say, oh, you do it. And it's like there's no rule there about if they have to. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm glad that they do make both teammates do the roadblocks, like a certain number. I think that's really important. I mean, we saw in the very early days of the race that there was like one team that won and somebody did like one roadblock, and that was like
exactly no. That's definitely not fair. If you have like one good partner and then like the other person sucks. Yeah, no. Jess is agreeing with you here. That's what I was thinking. Like, why even walk up to him? You're wasting time. Yeah, you're wasting lot of time. A lot of time.
Maybe Phil has the clue.
No, Phil's not the cantina. Yes, I would have waited for the priest to finish as well, Dolores. Definitely. He said, don't talk to the priest. Okay, thank you. The priest does need to travel them, keep them in line. Absolutely. If I had read all that over and over, I'd be a little bit grumpy too.
The priest. Yeah.
Well,
and he was like, looked warm out, and like, you know, he's out there in the sun. Like,
he's probably getting paid like
a lot. Yeah,
a lot of money, for like maybe 2 hours worth of work. Like, he's probably went through that speech like 5 times, which is like
I like them.
A couple grand. He made a few $1,000s, I would say, for sure. For sure. Okay, so finally Lulu and Lala find the stand, and I was thinking that they would be like great at this. Like, I feel like because they speak multiple languages, they would like were familiar, but they were not able to spell souvlaki at all, which is like, what? They're looking at the stand, they're looking everywhere to find it. They finally do go ask somebody to look up on their phone how to spell souvlaki. What's going on, girls?
Well, what's better, getting somebody's phone to do it than stopping traffic. Go with the phone. That's
fine. So they eat the souvlaki. Eventually, they throw the wrapper away, and they're like, "Huh? Clue? Yeah. And she's like, and so like they're like, okay, can I get a souvlaki? Yeah, so they spell it all out all over again. She makes it to them, and then when she bakes it, she like fully has the wrapper paper that was just like, you know, like dangling in front, and then she put it like, I was like, it was like this, like in front of her, and both of them, and they didn't notice it. They eat it. One souvlaki didn't. One twin didn't like souvlaki, so she's like crying and puking while they're trying to get this down. They didn't notice it. They threw it away again. Huh? And she's like, huh. Yeah. So finally, they figure it out. How did you feel about your girls, the twins, not finding this wrapper in good time?
Oh, I mean, I think once they ordered the second souvlaki, I was like, no, they're not going to make it. They're not going to make it. But I felt bad. Like, it was awful. The fact that they ate a second one, they're troopers. They were trying their best. They just couldn't think outside the box of what the clue was, which sucks. Um, I, a Souvlaki is not a gross food eating challenge. They're very
No.
tasty, and even if you don't like onions, you'll get over it. It's not. I mean, it's nothing huge. So,
I mean,
um,
I wouldn't want to eat it personally because the tzatziki is yogurt and I can't eat yogurt. It makes me projectile vomit. So I would vomit, or I would say like, can I have it with no
yeah,
tzatziki? But
it did feel
it
funny
tastes good though.
that there was more reactions, like more video reactions of this than last week's maggot cheese. Like last week's maggot cheese, everybody breezed through it, and there was like nothing, right? But
And this is like
this is like, oh my god, like,
delicious food. I want the maggots.
don't go to a food court with Lala Luna.
I mean, I think it's also like when you're just like shoving something in and like eating it quickly, like I think that also would be why it's not enjoyable. Like they're not sitting and enjoying it. They are just shoveling it in. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt there a little bit. So Kim and Penn check into the pit stop first place. This is their third first place win in a row, and they won $7,500 each, which is fabulous.
That's
lots
a lot of
money.
Christmas pajamas.
Oh God, you're so mad at them still. Let them have their pajamas. Ryan does get the quiz correct on his second attempt, so he's out of there. Kayla gets it on her first try. The twins finally checked the garbage and they got the clue to the church. We do see Raquel and Kayla get to the pit stop and they are back in second place. So they had a point where they were in last place after the grape rolling challenge, and then grape leaf rolling challenge, and they got to the pit stop second. So good on them.
Yeah, very good. That's hard to do. To halfway through the leg, because I mean this leg was very short. You're in the back, and then you push all the way back up to second is quite impressive. But I have to give it true. Penn and Kim, amazing 3 in a row. That is very impressive.
So Sherry Lynn is reminding us that Penn and Kim said that they agreed to alternate tasks so they'd be even, but she got her period. And yes, I did see this and needed to go to the bathroom as they arrived at the net fishing challenge last week. Yes, I did watch their recap for last week. And so they wanted to go back and forth. Yes, and so she's like, yeah, she said this on.
She said it. Good, okay.
Yeah. And that she was like wanted to not do that particular task because like she wanted to be able to go to the washroom at ease, and she didn't want to have a bit of a mess while doing the net challenge. So that's why Penn did that one when it was supposed to be hers. So yes, they were planning on alternating just so they wouldn't get out of sync, or like one person has done a lot and the other person hasn't done very many. So it's probably the best strategy, I'd say, to do on the race.
Nice.
In my opinion, I feel like Ryan and Dusty are kind of on that power trip after winning 3 legs, thinking that they're unstoppable. But look at Kim and Penn taking it 1 leg at a time, and now they are the front runners with the 4. Yeah, I think that they are the front runners with the 4. They're very consistent.
Oh yeah.
They're thorough. They don't seem to panic. They support each other, so they're looking very good. Makes me laugh with her reveals. Yeah, Kim, she does divulge quite a bit. Yes, I did hear about this challenge spin-offs. I'm not sure how I feel about them, but I'm going to go live tomorrow and talk about that with Chris and Drew. I don't think I'll enjoy it personally, just for the fact that like I don't like the challenge because of the challenges. I like it from the dynamics of people that have played on the seasons in past years. And so I don't know if it's going to hook me in seeing a comp beast. Like I don't watch American Ninja Warrior, so I just don't know if it's something that I'm going to care about. They are going to be picking people from CBS reality shows. So maybe that holds my interest here. Maybe. I heard that Tiffany and Big D got a call. Not really impressed with that. So I'll probably watch, but not
Do they
really
have a
not happy about
couch
it.
set up for Big D to lay down?
He's gonna think that he's like so tough. Give me a hell, bro.
That's all he did on Big Brother.
He thinks that he's gonna be like an unstoppable force. So Kim and Penn are basically the Bimini Bomb Boulash of the season. Whoa, really?
Bimini!
After that 19-month quarantine, they're showing their true competitors that they really are. Yes, Bimini did come back, and she came back to win. She did. That's true.
Yeah.
I love Bimini. I think Bimini's so hot.
Oh, Bimini! I remember we podcasted about that season, and we fell in love with her so much. We were both like, "Oh my gosh, Bimini!"
Bimini's definitely one of my favorite drag
Bimini
queens.
did win.
Yeah, she should have won. She did win.
She should have won.
I mean, Lawrence Chaney was who we wanted to give it to, but Bimini deserved the win. She's the Rob goddess. So when Lulu and Lala got her second Souvlaki, I was screaming. Yeah, it was really like, no.
It was funny, though.
Well, just like that thing. I felt bad. I was like, oh God, poor girls. So Natalia does the challenge, and she seemed to get it before Lulu and Lala even arrived. So Aruna and Natalia are on their way to the pit stop, way ahead of the twins, unfortunately. But we can always count on Aruna and Natalia to get lost. So they do get lost on their way to the pit stop. Lulu and Lala know where the pit stop is, so they do that roadblock. They get it done. They're on their way to the pit stop. They're trying to make it dynamic. Even though Aruna and Natalia are on my team, I was rooting for Lulu and Lala to get there before them. I was like, maybe they did really badly in the directions, and Lulu and Lala will get there, because this is it would be such a shitty way to go out, like not seeing a parchment paper. Like, oh, I'd be kicking myself hard. But no, Aruna and Natalia get there in fourth place. I was happy for them, though. I got a little teary-eyed, slightly.
Yeah.
You did.
For who?
Aruna and Natalia, for like actually for overcoming. Like, they thought they were going to be last. They're not good at the game. Like, I felt good that they got some positive reinforcement on a self-driving leg.
Yeah, I guess, but they didn't have a great leg. Like, they had an okay leg. I mean, the time difference in that, and the fact that they had teams behind them, they still didn't have a great leg, and they got brought back, and they keep coming in that non-elimination spot. And I hope
another one this next week. They're gonna be saved again.
I hope that if they come in last next week, they just pull the trigger. It's time for them to go.
No, they're there again. It's like they can't be taken out of this race. It's not possible. So Lulu and Lala do get to the pit stop last. They were still pretty positive. And at the end, they decide to jump into the water, screaming, "The Amazing Race!" And so that is the end of the twins. And so just if you guys were interested, I stopped taking notes on the points, because I do feel like I would be winning in the points realm of things, for the fact that I've gotten so many first places, and without Dusty and Ryan being contenders. But anyways, I could still go through them to double check. I don't know how you feel about the win, because I think
I don't mind whoever wins the race. I don't mind. I haven't been paying attention. I don't know who's been making out during the race.
Definitely Kim and Penn kiss most of the time on the mat.
Right.
So we will remove Lulu and Lala. Whoops. Shit. What happened? Why aren't you? My hands are sweaty right now, and it's not allowing me to drag and drop.
Ooh! Oh my God! All your secrets.
Okay, get over here.
Down
okay.
That bank account number, everybody.
This is the real Amazing Race task, is to find out what the hidden Easter egg is on this page. Okay, so look at that, though. After the blip and everything, we are even for the final four with having all the contenders and the racers that can't get eliminated. So I think
That's
that's pretty
right.
impressive.
I do too. Who? So now we've got this final four. Are you? Well, obviously, for your team, I think you're rooting for Kim and Penn. I would imagine. Is that who you're rooting for as a fan of the show?
I think they're playing the best game, best race.
Yeah.
They are working together with people, but they're not allowing it to screw up their game. They're consistent, they're kind to each other. They've seemed to grow. They've done the homework to like be good at the race. What they weren't good at, they practiced. So I think that they're very well rounded and
Right.
supporting the 40 plus people racing. I'm hands down rooting for Kim and Penn. And I would be very happy with them as a winner. I think they'd be very satisfying.
Very good. Most
What
of the
about you?
time, like I have to say, usually when I'm watching the race, the team that I usually root for is, for some reason, I always feel for the underdog. But I do feel like the underdog here was Aaron and Natalia, and I just don't think I can get behind that. So I mean, as much as Ryan and Dusty were my first pick, I do think that I am still Kayla and Raquel. I would like to see them get that last. I'd love for them to get that win and it be the last one. So that's who my money's on. But I won't be. I'll be honest. I'm not going to be surprised if we see Kim and Penn walk away winning this.
Absolutely. But I'd also love that our first picks, both of them are in the first spots. Like
Yeah,
they're the
yeah,
both the two most likely to win. Kayla and Raquel are pretty close though now. Like they've kind of overtaken Ryan Dusty, but Ryan Dusty do have those first place wins that Kayla and Raquel don't have. So I do think that
right.
they are a more consistent team. But I'm very impressed that we, from just like pre-race, were able to pick out
Yeah,
the people that are going to be top.
yeah. I'm trying to remember. I'm going to quickly look, but I don't remember which was the team that we were like had really high hopes for that didn't pull through.
Oh, it
I
was
think you
my
picked
Anthony and
Mike and Mo. You picked Mike and Mo.
Mike and Mo. Yes, it's true. And then I
Yeah,
did Kim. I thought
yeah.
that they were definitely going to be way better, and they embarrassed me. So I forgot that I even said their names.
But that's all right. No,
Um,
we did very well with picking. And oh yes, I got to mark off now Lala and Lulu. And at least towards the end, we got their names right.
yes.
Because for the first little while, we kept saying Lola
Well, yeah. Well,
or
because
Lolo.
Lolo, Lola, Lala, and Lulu, Lolo Jones. Anyways, we got it.
Yes,
We're good.
we
So
got it.
I believe you have another survey for us before we sign off from this episode.
Definitely. So everybody, feel free to answer the survey, which is in the description for this video. We'd love to hear from you. Just a bunch of questions. So first one, nice and easy. Do you know how to drive a car with a manual transmission?
Yes, I do.
Yes. We just want to know if everybody does. Which task from leg 8 do you think was the hardest? We've got here. I didn't bother picking the thing out of the tree because that was pretty.
No,
But who
thank
likes
you.
to rap? Which is the roadblock, the Souvlaki stand, spell, and eat, or the who wants to be iconic quiz about saints.
100% the iconic quiz because you had to wait there for 15 minutes just to get one try.
Yeah.
And if you got there in the middle, like you'd have to wait till the beginning again. So I think that would be the hardest one.
Were you shocked by the elimination of Lala and Lulu?
Shocked from their performance? No. I was more surprised that it was so bad that Arun and Natalia were able to beat them. That was the shock.
Yeah, for me, I think I was shocked. I really thought that Aaron and Natalia would go, and yeah, it seemed to just all fall apart for them. Are you upset by the elimination of Lala and Lulu? I'm a yes. I think that I would have liked to at least seen them get fourth.
I wanted to see them do more. I don't feel like satisfied with them going out here just because it was just a dumb mistake. It wasn't that they're super bad racers, and so it's kind of unfortunate. But shit, they had bad luck. So I don't really like when people go out on bad luck. It's like, oh, like it's not like a mistake. It's just they didn't see the paper, which they and this is the first time they did something like that in this particular season, I think.
I think so. I mean, thinking about how they were the first couple legs before the COVID thing, and to what they became, like, because they were, Lala and Lulu were having issues, so were Aaron and Natalia, and to see them get this far, yeah, it was nice. It's nice to see them turn it around.
Agreed, Jess. Why would you have to eat it again? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
No. Of the remaining teams, which team do you feel is the most strategic in the way that they race?
I would say Raquel and Kayla. They're always seeming to think like, no, let's work with them. No, like they're always trying to figure out how, and then we'll overtake them in the end. And so they seem to be always looking to get that first spot. So it seems like they have that on their mind all the time. Other teams may, but we haven't seen it. So I'd say they're the most strategic. What about you?
I think them or Kim and Penn would be, because the thing about Kim and Penn is I feel like they understand the race maybe the best out of everybody. I don't know. I just get that vibe that they get the race. So.
Wait, who gets the race? Sorry, I was reading.
Yeah, Kim and Penn.
They do. I guess that they're also really strategic. Or maybe they are really methodical. Like they planned everything out. So they're not necessarily strategic on their race, but they've already planned out what they're going to be doing in most situations. So methodical. But yeah, I can see them being strategic as well.
Yeah.
So Adrian's saying here that they forgot to mention the flight attendants got second again, and when Ryan and Dusty were told that they were third, they were like, I didn't notice the expression. Did you notice an expression of Dusty?
Yeah, no, I noticed, and I think they were really upset because they knew they blew it at the second roadblock. Because they had second, they were gonna be fine, and then that happened. Oh, it's wonderful. Which multiple first place finishing team do you think has the better chance to win the whole race? Dusty and Ryan or Kim and Penn?
I'm going to say Kim and Penn because they are peaking at a better time. Like you want to peak at the end, not at the beginning and then start doing poorly. So I think that they have the momentum. They get to set the tone. They most likely will have a head start on Dusty and Ryan, which is also great. And so if they're clumped together with group 1, group 2, so yeah, Kim and
Penn. Which amazing race of the teams that are left do you feel you have changed your opinion on the most now in a more negative way? Last week it was positive.
Oh wait, which team? Sorry, say it again.
Last week we said positive. This week we're saying which of the 4 remaining teams now in a negative way. From when they started.
Oh, definitely Dusty and Ryan. I mean, they're humorous, but I feel like their competitive energy is kind of coming out in a bit of a negative way, and so we're seeing that they're not that okay with losing. So when they were winning, they were a lot more positive, and it seems that they're losing. They're kind of like.
I think I was enjoying Aaron and Natalia at the beginning, and just the last couple, I don't know, probably because of them coming in last. I'm just not really. I'm just like, I don't just go.
Oh my god!
I'm okay if you go.
Okay, Phil. Okay.
I want Lala and Lulu back.
I understand. So Adrian says next week Dusty is going to be mad about turning over rocks. Yeah, it does look like there's going to be a few meltdowns for the next episode. Chantele's the winning team. Phil, make a swap deal. No way. If the final leg has a challenge involving where they visit task that they did. I think Kim and Penn have it wrapped up. Yeah, they know the race better than all the other teams, so they're going to be prepared. Sorry, I cut you off. Do you have more quiz questions? Or was that the last
just one more, and this one just to make you think, which of the Amazing Race teams do you feel would be the strongest pair if they played in a Survivor Blood versus Water season?
Ooh, Blood versus Water. I mean, I'm not into like the bros doing well on Australian Survivor. That's definitely, brawn is a big thing that's over there, and it's very people appreciate that. So I think that Dusty and Ryan would probably do well, at least for a while, for the fact that they would be able to help their tribe be successful. So, which would mean that they could potentially get to merge, stay together, potentially win some individual immunities. So I think that maybe Dusty and Ryan.
I do also think if it was just individuals of them, if it was the individuals, I would put Kim in there as well.
Kim would be good because she's she gets focused, she gets it done. She'd probably be good at a lot of different challenges. Yeah, Kim would be good on her own for sure.
Yeah,
I feel like Penn might annoy people though.
Yeah,
maybe.
Right. That's it.
Well, thank you. So that is in the description box below. If you want to, please fill that out so we have something to talk about at the beginning of the episode. Yeah, seriously, like nothing to talk about. I'm just going to catch up on any of these comments that are pertinent before we sign off. So yes, Dusty is coming off as plain jacks. What's that mean? Plain jacks.
Plain jocks.
Oh, jocks. I'm not wearing glasses. Yes, they are plain. I thought it was like a specific thing. Yeah, just like jocks. I didn't even notice, but surprised, but because they know how to prepare for whatever task hits them. Yes, they're going to do, like Kim and Penn are going to do well on the final task. Better than I would say the other teams would.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes, please like the video, subscribe. Do you have anything going on? Wait, what did you think about Penn explaining ADHD again this week? Yeah, I thought it was great though. Just to have understanding, compassion, and kind of learning more about what a lot of people face in this world. I thought it was, and then the way that he explains it for me is not like condescending or like it's not in an offensive way, like or like, oh, look at me. It's just like, I think he does a good job with explaining it personally. So I'm fine with it. Do you have any thoughts?
No, I thought it was wonderful. I mean, actually, this week was good. What I really liked, I think I said a little bit earlier, was the fact that he said, because a lot of people think with ADHD, like you're just focused on things that you care about, right? Like it's just, I just have interest in this and that's why I'm focused on it. But he explained, like, he's able to put himself in center, focus on stuff that, I mean, maybe he does have a thing for saints and history. Not tons of people do. So, but he's able to put himself into that and focus on it and find a way to channel that into that focus, which was very cool. It's very nice to see.
Yeah, I agree. And makes it, humanizes him as well. Like make him be like, hey, people overcome a lot. So Jess says, this was fun. I don't know why I haven't caught Tar recap yet. Well, thank you for being here. We go live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. You have a couple more, I guess at least 2 more episodes to catch up on with us. Wow. We obviously love having you here, Jess. Phil, what do you have going on that you want the people to maybe subscribe to or follow or like, or what's happening?
I always love to push my little games business, Good Time Games with Adam and Phil. Check it out on Facebook. We have a game coming up called Tagged next Saturday, which is a fun little social strategy. It's sort of like being on a reality show where you get to try and survive, try and last the longest, you vote people out. It's all in one night. Over the computer, lots of fun, and we've had Chantele play. She was a rock star. They couldn't get rid of her. They had to like put her on a wheel to get her wheeled out of it.
Oh my god! And like when I got wheeled out, I just have to say that it was the most dramatic moment ever. because like I was I think set up to at least get to the final three or and potentially win. And the wheel for whatever reason was glitching. So instead of it spinning around and then selecting who is the wheel, it was literally 15 minutes of it going around and around and around.
Super slow.
Which
you might like, just because it was so fun.
And we couldn't tell like if it was slowing down or not because it was just so slow. Like, and then like you think it's like, and then it would like go all the way around again. Like,
and then it landed on you, and you're like, "Go faster, go faster!"
I was like, and it just would not move. So I got wheeled out of the game, but it was still a very fun time.
It was fun. So we're doing that next Saturday, and just follow us on Facebook and reach out to us. I do know that we have some of your friends, some of your podcast friends that will be playing.
Should we drop it? Some people do know this person, or is it going to be a secret cast?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, maybe they don't want. Maybe they don't want. Maybe actually we don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah. I will say.
But there are people that you all probably know that you might want to play with. You get to play. Yes.
You might know some people playing. So if you want to play with some of your favorite podcasters, there is at least one that I know of that will be playing on Saturday. So definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. I do have Phil's link. It is in the description box below. I am excited for BB Can. I need to wash my palate from this season of Celebrity Big Brother because it's gotten me all frustrated. Also, what's the plan for next week's schedule for the channel? Okay, so tomorrow, JoJo and I will be joining Sarah from Nerdtainment, but we will be streaming it on this channel as well. Saturday, I'll go live. Oh, and tomorrow also at 6 p.m. Eastern. Before that, I will be live on the Nullified Take talking about the new challenge seasons. Saturday and Sunday and Monday, I'll be going live after the episode with JoJo. Sunday with Ron, doing 5 p.m. Eastern, doing this week's episodes of Australian Survivor. And then next Wednesday, I'll be going live after the episode, most likely with JoJo and Jonathan. I think so. I think it's what I got.
And then back to Thursday, us.
Exactly. Back to Thursday with us. Well, thank you everybody for being here. You guys are the best. Love chatting with you. You guys definitely make it super fun. I'm always like, oh, like we're going to talk for like 20 minutes. Then it's like an hour and 20 minutes. So I am so grateful for you guys participating and making this like a fun time. It's so much more fun right now to recap The Amazing Race than it is to talk about Celebrity Big Brother. So it's definitely a bright light in my week.
That's and right. That you always know, right? The race you always know is going to be happiness. It's nice.
Always a good time. It's nice. It's never that serious. My feelings don't usually get into it in a big way. So thank you, Phil, for being here as well. I very much appreciate you. Everybody in the chat, you guys are awesome. If you're watching this after, please subscribe, like the video, leave a comment. Who do you think is going to win this race? Maybe just rank them in order of who you think will be first to fourth, and we'll have a little discussion in the comments as to what your thoughts are. So love you guys. Fill out that survey, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.